Good afternoon, Houston. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro bringing you a live update on radar right now. Still tracking that line of strong to severe storms, but still pushing to our north and east. Right now, we're keeping an eye on two clusters of storms that have the potential to bring us at least some gusty wind and some heavy downpours that have severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So this one just north of Brenham is scooting to the northeast. So it is possible that it slides through our northwesternmost portion of Grimes County, but again, a good distance away from us at the moment. Right now, there is a severe thunderstorm warning that is touching just north of Walker County. So this one is warned for the potential of 3/4 sized hail, so just under about a $50 size, and 60-mile-an-hour winds. People affected about 10,000 with this one. And then just to the west of that, there is a small tornado warning there as well. But again, both of these pushing to the north and east away from southeast Texas. This line has stayed pretty persistent throughout the last 3 to 4 hours, just scooting along pretty slowly to the northeast. Now this is velocity, our rotation detector that allows us to see inside the thunderstorm to see what the storm motion is like. And what I'm seeing right now is not a ton of couplets. There's that one little couplet just south of Bryan. That's where the tornado warning is. But otherwise, all this activity south of there is straight line wind. So this is going to be mainly a concern for some isolated smaller hail and the potential of a quick burst of rain and a quick push of wind. And that continues all the way down towards Brenham. North of there, that's where the biggest threat for a couple of isolated tornadoes remains. I wouldn't be surprised if the National Weather Service starts to expire the tornado watch for us, as we're not seeing that tornadic activity materialize here just yet. Here's a check at the count for lightning strikes over the last 10 minutes. There's about 2,600 of them, and pretty equal numbers when it comes to negative and positive strikes. So positive strikes are 10 times stronger than negative ones, so we keep a close eye on that count to determine whether or not these storms are intensifying or not. So they're just holding steady for the time being. Showers are starting to fill into Harris County though right now. I'm tracking some moderate rain that is pushing into Conroe. Already passed through Cypress. Katy right now seeing some clusters of light to moderate steady rainfall, seeing some more of that too as we push a little bit closer towards the bay. Here's a close-up of some of the showers that are passing along 290 and moving into Tomball. So Nichols Sawmill Road, that's just northwest of Tomball, is getting hit with a quick heavy downpour. That's about it though. In the loop, things look pretty dry. Aside from Veterans Memorial Drive, you have a moderate shower there. And then for the Beltway, Clay Road is seeing some moderate to heavy rainfall. Clusters of storms, but no lightning. So just some rain right now impacting Mont Bellevue, Liberty, Anahuac, Sylvan Beach, Baytown, Magnolia Gardens. It's all very manageable for the time being. The severe threat though is still with us. So I'm going to walk you through future track. Over the next couple of hours, it's possible that we get some of these stronger storms. I think the highest likelihood of seeing that for us is going to be right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is going to be mainly north of the Loop and the Beltway. But this does include communities like Spring, the Woodlands, Cleveland, Conroe, into Huntsville. So if you live in those areas, and if you live pretty far out west along the Katy Freeway, you could be susceptible to a couple of these stronger to severe storms. That continues through 5 o'clock, so that's what the picture looks like. Mainly north of the I-10 corridor is where we could see some of this activity materialize. Now the actual front, the line, is going to start to move into our area this evening. So that's a snapshot at 7:30. I think for the most part it's just going to be rainfall, though isolated couplets within this line could produce a few isolated severe thunderstorm warnings. I can't completely rule out the possibility of some of these spinning. In fact, some of the future track models do show a little spin in the atmosphere still with us through tonight. So for that reason, we are keeping a close eye on radar even into tonight with a weather impact alert. So hourly forecast looks like this. It's in red for the potential of a couple of these strong to severe storms so far. They have stayed a good distance away from us to our north. However, it's a really close margin here. So if they do start to back build and start to dip south, that's when we get one of those warnings closer to home. So just keep in mind that there's still about a 40 to 60% chance of seeing some of these storms develop here, and the severe risk remains a 3 on the 1 to 5 scale. Notice a focus along the I-10 corridor and to the north. So far, the tornado watch is still in effect until 4 o'clock. I will update you on social media, so if you check back in on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, I'll let you know if this has been allowed to expire. We'll probably hear from the National Weather Service right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on that, but still looking at the potential of some straight line wind impacts. We all have the threat for that, but there's a particular bullseye there to our north and east. So as these storms continue to lift, we could see some gusty wind up to 50, 60, even 70 miles an hour. That includes Conroe, Huntsville, Livingston, and then pushing into Beaumont and Louisiana. Hail threat is still there, and a particular emphasis on the northwest side now. So this hatched area, Conroe, Livingston, Huntsville, Brenham, you could see some of those larger hail producing thunderstorms. And the flood risk, of course, is something that we'll continue to monitor because we've had quite a bit of rainfall yesterday. And so if we do see some of these storms develop and bring us some heavier rain throughout the afternoon and evening, it'll just be on a case-by-case basis that we monitor if there's an excessive rainfall rate that would lead to high water spots or even localized street flooding. But I think the bigger concern for that is going to be as these storms track east. So this area in red, that's under a 3 threat on the 1 to 4 scale. So this does include a portion of southeast Texas, so Huntsville to Livingston, but for the most part this is going to be for East Texas and then pushing into Louisiana. Because most of the rainfall potential is north of the I-10 corridor, that's where our flood watch has been issued. Some of these areas could pick up 3 to 6 inches of rainfall, and it's the areas that are highlighted here in green. So that includes Washington County, Grimes, Walker, Montgomery, San Jacinto, Polk, and Liberty. So those are the areas to monitor for too much rainfall in a short time frame. Ongoing storms. Okay, when is this all going to wrap up? So we got the threat for a couple storms during the commute. We've got another chance for them again tonight. How about tomorrow? I think we're waking up to a couple of downpours, this time along the I-10 corridor in areas south, so closer to the coastline. If you travel the Gulf Freeway on your commute to work, this might be an issue. Notice it's pretty early though, 6 o'clock in the morning. If you work in 9 to 5, I think you missed most of the action. And then another round of rain, this time for the evening, but still along the I-10 corridor and areas south. So there is a small chance for an isolated strong storm tomorrow, though it is much less than what we're highlighted for today. Then for your Thursday, a couple of lingering showers, so just some leftover moisture, bringing an isolated chance for a spotty passing stray shower is there. But for the most part, I think you're just going to see mostly cloudy skies. And then by the time we get to Friday, a chance for a couple coastal showers early morning. And then beyond that, I actually think we're going to be mostly sunny for your Friday. So breaking down your 7-day forecast, today is a weather impact alert day, still tracking the potential of not just storms, but the threat for some severe weather. As we go into tomorrow, notice it's still in red. It's not a weather impact alert day, but I do want to highlight the day because we could see some quick downpours. And if we get those both rounds of rain in the same spot along I-10 and closer to the coastline, that could lead to some high water concerns. Thursday, only an isolated chance for some lingering showers, and then Friday, isolated in the morning, and that is it. Beyond that, if you got plans for Mother's Day weekend, I am so happy to report that you will be just fine. I mean, the forecast couldn't be more beautiful for both Saturday and Sunday. We'll start off the morning at 60 degrees on Saturday, high temperature of 80, and slightly cooler even for your Sunday, waking up in the 50s, topping off in the low 80s both days with plenty of sunshine. Okay, we are going to have another update on the TV side. So we got our newscast coming up at 4 o'clock, at 4:30. Then meteorologist Pat Kavlin will be with you at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. If we see any warning popping up closer towards us, we'll be sure to either give you another live stream update or break into the TV side. Regardless, check our social media pages and we'll have updates on there as well. As always, please download the KHOU app, turn on your alerts, and we can